Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm David. Let's talk about episodes 11 and 12 of The Circle Season 2. We're almost done, Sarah.
We are wrapping it up about in these episodes. We got a finale coming up. But first, if you're new to this channel, please click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.
And we've got a Patreon. There's a link in the description if you want to support us on there. All right. Okay. Episode 11.
Well, episode 11 starts off the cat's like blocked. I would assume.
Yeah, it's like I just loved her, and so I'm bummed, of course, that she's blocked. But like, she really was like, she's doing a lot. She was coming real hard in those chats.
Oh, I know. She had such potential. She was such a fun personality.
Yeah,
and she ruined her own game, and she knows it.
She did. Yeah,
she just. Yeah. So not like surprised that this is who they end up. This is Trevor and Chloe were influencers together, and Chloe sort of laid it out. And I was like, cat came
This
for
is
me?
And it was, I did love how Trevor had an alliance with two, Chloe had an alliance with the other two, and they were kind of trying to navigate that.
Yeah.
But I do kind of feel like Trevor DeLisa kind of did what she had to do, because like Mitchell and Kat were on the bottom, so like, you're really gonna like stick your neck out there and really fight for someone who's ranked last? Like, that's not a good look.
And potentially ruin the alliance that you have with Chloe.
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly.
That would be super dangerous. I mean, Chloe appears to be the most popular and the center to this entire circle.
Truly.
So do not ruin that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
That would be the worst thing. So Kat's blocked. She's upset. She goes to see Trevor.
Mm-hmm.
But
quickly sees that it's DeLisa. Yeah.
And I think that probably makes the most sense to Kat, because she's like, oh my God, we just clicked. We had so much fun together. Of course, you're a female and we can just chat. And that's what they do.
They talk game. Like some of the other meetings that we've seen, particularly I'm remembering like Bryant and Lee, from the first episode. Right. And granted, that's different because it's the first episode and there hasn't been that much gameplay yet. But that was just like a love fest of like, oh my God, it's so nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Kat immediately was like, Courtney's the Joker, and River and Courtney were trying to screw you, and like, really kind of giving intel, and she's like still in game mode, and I love seeing that conversation.
I do too. I feel like season 1, last season, they were all just like, I love you, hugs, oh my God, you're a catfish, or you're real, or whatever it was when they went to meet. And this season, I feel like production was like, we're gonna just have game talks in these conversations, and I appreciate that. I also, what I don't appreciate is that Kat is back on her like catfish radar, and John's a catfish because he says y'all, and people on the East Coast don't say y'all.
But she's right. Like,
again, you are correct, but 100% West Virginia is the South. Can confirm we say y'all all across the South, period. I like her rationale kills me, but yes,
I know.
She is correct.
She has good instincts, but the reasoning is flawed.
So flawed. So flawed. But they go in, tells her about the Joker, and basically says, like, Mitchell was my dude. He's great. You got to get Mitchell closer to Chloe to keep this thing going. And that really does, like, strike a chord with DeLisa.
Yep, absolutely. So I loved that conversation. And then the next morning, we're seeing John, i.e. Jack and Lisa, give an oracle card reading to Chloe, which was
but wait.
A treat. What?
You're skipping that whole group chat, which I was dying for, with Kat's goodbye message.
Oh my God, I forgot about Kat's goodbye message.
This
she was shady.
Messiest group chat, and I was here for it. Oh yeah, no, she was shady. She said messy queens. And a two-headed snake, I think, is the other thing, because that sent Chloe in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Which I found hilarious. She was like, does Trevor have two heads?
I mean, literally, Chloe is an idiot.
Mean. She's like in her head about what that means. Courtney's like, honey, he just said two messy queens. We're the two heads. But I don't think Lee got it. Because Lee was like, okay, messy queen here, but what's this two-headed snake? And it's like, oh my God.
Because Lee's like, guilty, messy queen. And Courtney's like, River, stop. Because if you're one of the messy queens, I'm definitely the other one. So can you chill a little bit?
They're all just like openly saying things they shouldn't say. And Chloe's like straight up asking. And Delisa's like, oh my God, let's have a private conversation. Can you
oh my God. Delisa's literally like, Chloe, you can't say these things in the chat, girl.
I loved this whole chat. It was so good. Okay, but afterwards, you are correct. Chloe's going to get a reading from John.
I mean, I can't even really decipher what happened here. It just was.
First off, these oracle cards must be astrological based, which is not a traditional thing. I mean, oracle cards are like they said, not tarot, it's oracle. So usually they'll be like an angel or, like they'll just have a theme. These clearly had astrology theme, which I've never seen before. I was intrigued. I text my mom about it. I would like to find them online. I'll get them, let you know about it. Everyone gets a reading. But they're like just reading the book. And they're like, so in the first position is the past. And then Chloe's like, it must be real. They used astrological or psychic words like Capricorn.
Psychic words like Capricorn. Like Chloe is the perfect person to be doing this reading on, because she's like, mind is blown. Whoa. Even though it's all probably incorrect. And Jack is just like, reading the instruction manual, like, is this right? And Chloe's like, oh my God. Wow.
And then she's like, wait a minute. Actions speak louder than words. But I can't see anyone's actions in here. I mean, she was like really like going through it. It was like, what does this
It was mean? Like gears were turning, but I don't know what, like the gears were not connected. They're just kind of like whirring in space, you know?
The gears are not connected to the other gears that are just spinning uncontrollably. She's great TV though. This is hilarious.
Oh, so good. So funny. Yes.
So our next conversation is River Courtney.
Yes, that's right. And they're, just continuing to strengthen their bond. Not that I think it needs to be any stronger, but they're sending the rainbow hearts and the regular hearts. And like those two are just like a dynamic little duo. And they're sort of deciding we need to target Mitchell. We got to get him out of here. We can't trust him.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting because they're like, so what are your feelings on John? And they're like, oh, yeah, like good vibes, whatever. Great. Sure. What are you feeling on Mitchell? Mitchell's never reached out to them. They've never had any conversations with Mitchell. Okay, that's such a red flag. What
that is really bad.
That about?
Yeah. I know.
Like, I know Mitchell's not good at this game, but the fact that he hasn't talked to the two gay men in the circle, I just throwing that out there.
Yeah. And it's like when you're coming in on whatever day it is that you come, when you come in late, you need to meet everybody, regardless.
Everyone.
Every single person you need to talk to.
Friends with every single person. You thought being best friends with the other newbie that came in with you,
that doesn't help you.
It's gonna play the game? Like what? Yeah. No, hard pass right here. I was like, whoa. Because we know there's chats that we don't see. I assume Mitchell's talking to everybody. To find out he is not, now I don't like him even more. I already am a fan. And now I'm like, no, I'm with you, buddy. Done. So anyway, these two are like, we'll keep an eye on him. We don't need Mitchell. Now, Trevor and Mitchell, however, they got to come up with a plan.
Yeah, Trevor is, basically acting on this plan that Kat kind of suggested of Mitchell's my dude. You got to like get in with him and use him to go after Courtney and River. And Trevor DeLisa is doing that right away. She is laying out a multi-step plan on how they're going to convince Chloe that she needs to work with them and use that trifecta.
Yes.
To get one of River and Courtney out.
And I love this on DeLisa's part, right? This is great. She does come up with a game plan. She has a whole strategy. There's steps to it. This is super, super smart on her part. Then Mitchell's like, what?
Yeah.
A strategy? Oh my God. I love, he is like to the moon at the idea of
playing the circle.
What? Yes. Oh my God. He thinks this is brilliant. Yeah. That anyone has told him what to do. And he's like, great, on it. So here's what we learned about Mitchell. He doesn't know how to play the game, but if you direct him, he will do it. He will follow through.
He can do that. Yeah, he could do that. And so he's just thrilled that somebody's talking game to him and giving him a little bit of some suggestions on how to play. And he's like, oh, that's what this game is. Yes. I get it.
All right. And it includes him getting closer to the girl that he thinks is a hot, spicy pepper. He's all about it. They need to get Chloe closer, pull her away from the Courtney River duo. So that is their plan. But first, we're going to have a red carpet and an award show.
Circle Awards. Now, here was my complaint with the Circle Awards. I thought it was fun. It's cute, whatever. As you know, you have one female, like one person who is portraying a female that is a female left in the game, right? Chloe's the only woman left in the game.
Yeah.
Lisa's playing John with Jack, and DeLisa's playing Trevor. So Chloe's the only one in a dress.
Yeah.
Lisa's got a tux because John is a man. DeLisa's got a tux because Trevor's a man. I am just like, could they not have given us Jack in a dress because he used to play Emily? Like, come on. That was such an opportunity.
Hashtag missed opportunity. Oh, I didn't even think about it. Oh, that would have been so great if Emily was still in the game for this moment. I would have liked to have seen it. I loved, however, the shot of Jack and Lisa in their tuxes next to each other and the circle cut off Jack's head.
I also love that like Lisa's pants were 6 inches too long and Jack's were like high waters and you could see his white socks underneath. So good.
Oh, it was. I enjoyed that part. But yeah, I was like, wait, we really only have one female playing the game right now? I didn't quite fully get that until we had one dress.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to vote on awards. And of course, we're going to start out fun and light, and then we're going to ramp up to shady.
Yes. Yeah. It did start off with just like sexiest, which like when there's 5 dudes voting and there's 1 woman, yeah, she's going to win sexiest. Okay, so Chloe gets that. Courtney gets funniest. Great. Okay.
Right.
Then we start to get a little shady. Mitchell gets best performance. And he's kind of like, what does that mean?
What does that mean? Because when he was like, the way I'm going to vote is like performance acting it up. Yeah. His vote was shady. And then when he gets the award, he's like, was everybody being shady?
Wait a minute. Right. Ooh. Exactly.
Guess what, Mitchell? They were.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get the Kiss Ass Award.
Yeah. And it gets worse for Mitchell.
It sure does. I mean, the overall theme here was that the Mitchell's not like everyone's favorite person at this point.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I mean, Lee handles it so well. I mean, he even said as soon as it was like best kiss ass, he was like, oh, that's gonna be me. That's gonna be me. And then he's tied, so it's partially him. And he's like, haha, love it. Puckering up, chapstick. Like he handles it really, really well. And then Mitchell is just straight bothered.
He can't. He's like, yo, I don't know what this is about. I've just been me. Like, this I'm not an ass kiss, or like, I don't know what message I'm supposed to be receiving from this. And it's like, just laugh it off. Like, now you're making it worse by trying to defend yourself.
Yes, because now everybody's like, oh, Mitchell is bothered, awkward. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he doesn't know how to handle it. He just, it doesn't go well for him.
No.
Speaking of kiss ass, Trevor is now going to kiss Rivers in a private chat.
Oh, right. Yeah. So Delisa checks in with Lee River after that ass kiss award and just wants to make sure that he's doing okay with that.
Thank you. And this is why Delisa's really good because, like,
true.
She's not the closest with River Lee, but she maintains a relationship. And that's all we're saying, Mitchell. Just maintain the relationship. Do a reach out here and there. Do a private chat here and there. That's all we're saying. Is like, Delisa's doing the work here, you know?
She is. It's like kind of like a little bit of an eye roll. Like, you don't really need to like check in on somebody. But I do think it like means something to Lee.
Right.
And when it comes down to like, who am I going to block at some point, Lee might think, well, you know, Trevor did check in on me and that was really sweet and da-da-da-da. Right. So like these kinds of gestures are important in this game.
Exactly. The next conversation is Mitchell and Chloe. Mitchell starts us off with, I got to get into phase 1 of this. And I was like, no, this isn't even phase 1, Mitchell. You just can't even keep track. It's phase 2.
No.
But anyway, glad you're doing it. Okay, here we go.
Good for you. They talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. Paragraphs back and forth. These are the most substantial messages I think I've ever seen in a circle chat. Like,
right.
You got a lot to say, you two. And then eventually, you know, the sort of bombshell here, Mitchell's really trying to connect on an emotional level. Smart. Right. I think Chloe does respond to those kinds of things.
Absolutely.
And he reveals that he's a virgin. And she is blown away that this hot guy is a virgin, blah, blah, blah. Now she thinks of him as her brother in the circle. And
how quickly?
I don't really know what that means.
How quickly he becomes a brother.
Okay. Yeah, friend zoned.
Okay. I mean, I guess he friend zoned her first. So, okay. She's just rolling with it. I mean, he also opens up about being prejudged. I mean, I just can't imagine how rough his life has been with everyone prejudging him by being so hot.
Oh my God. Yeah, it sucks.
It's a lot for him. But you know what? Really Chloe relates and she gets it. Because she too is a hottie.
She too is hot, yes.
She knows the pains of living this hot person life.
There's one thing I always say, Sarah, is I feel bad for hot people. I really do. Like,
they have it tough.
They do. I have so much sympathy for them. So
glad they connected on that.
Yes, I actually shed a tear during this conversation because I just thought these poor hot people. My God.
Right.
Yeah.
But they get through it, guys. They get through it. They can lean on each other. And I do feel like this does, you know, Chloe's sort of eating it up. She's like, oh my God, he's opening up to me. This is like real conversation. This is real info.
Right.
And she's
I think one of the things that makes Chloe so likable in this game is that she kind of defaults to trusting people. And we don't see her in a lot of chats like, what is this about? Why are you telling me this? What's the subtext? You know, she's just like, oh my God, wow, he's like opening up to me and this is so sweet. And that comes through in her responses to him. And so that makes Mitchell like her. Like, that's just why she's so well positioned, because she's just really kind to people in private chats.
Yeah, she really is. I found out she's a Pisces, and Pisces I assumed she was like a fire sign, like an outgoing, you know, person. But a Pisces is a very compassionate, person. They feel things. And we do see her get a little emotional over these episodes, and that makes sense. But I think that is why people relate to her, is because she will just like talk to you in a very kind way. She is an enjoyable person.
Yeah.
Okay, alert. Final blocking tomorrow.
Final blocking tomorrow. Now,
almost there.
Yes. This is when I feel like potentially strategies can change, right? You're finding out there's only one more, which means I got to focus on saving me here. So I got some thoughts about Mitchell's decision to chat for the first time with Courtney and River on the last day before the final blocking. And he's still in this like multi-step kind of like he's still with Trevor. If I were Mitchell and I'm like, this is it. I got one chance to save myself. I am throwing Trevor under the bus here. And I'm saying, Trevor laid out this whole plan, Courtney and River, to get rid of you guys. He wanted me to bring in Chloe and flip on you. We got to block Trevor. That's what I would be doing if I were Mitchell.
David, that is so complex. Mitchell could never. That is so layered and way beyond his capabilities.
Yeah, that's true.
That's not a bad plan, though. That's a great idea. That would be something. But he doesn't do that. Instead, he's just all like, hey, guys, feeling like, maybe I don't fit in this circle. Hey.
You don't.
And they're like,
you haven't talked to anybody.
Yeah. I love Courtney's responses during these chats because he's like, okay, no, you haven't talked to him. Oh, today? The day of a blocking? Oh, yeah? You're going to talk to us now? I mean, this reminded me of like Big Brother when you are nominated, you're sitting on the block, and all of a sudden you start talking to people that you've never talked to before. Hey, I've always wanted to work with you. I think we could go far. And you're like, hi, no, we don't work together in this game.
Yeah.
So yeah, it doesn't really go well, and I think Mitchell feels it. He's just like, they're not giving me anything.
It's too little too late, and he can sense it based on their replies. But he's not, he's like, gotta stick with this plan because this is the only plan I know. And so he, then teams up with Trevor to talk to Chloe, and they're really kind of laying it on thick with Chloe here. We want to protect you. Mitchell tells her that Courtney was the Joker and said negative things about her when he first came into the game. And Chloe is like, again, sort of defaulting to trusting people. And she's like, whoa, what? Not Courtney. She's...
I mean, the way they lay it out was really great because they're like, you got to trust us. We're here for you. And then they said it in the right order, right? They were like, the Joker came to talk to Mitchell and Kat, said these things, then saved this person. Who's the closest to that person? Has to be Courtney. Courtney's not on your side. I was like, oh, that was actually really great the way you laid that out. Chloe's head is like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And now she has a lot to think about. Yeah.
Yeah, she's like having to grapple with the idea that like the two people that she's in the Kardashians with are potentially trying to stab her in the back, and it's just a lot for her. And then
she handles it well. Like, I always like the way she handles it. She says things back like, I trust you guys. She doesn't reveal, oh, I'm done with Courtney.
Right.
This is it. She just says the polite thing back of like, thank you. I trust you guys.
And it's the right thing to say to just kind of like button up the conversation, wrap it up, and then she can step away and actually think about things, but like you don't need to say too much too quickly here because you're alone in your room. You're just in a chat. So you can send a message and then take some time to think. So I like that strategy. But here we are. It's time to make our final pitches before this final blocking.
This is new and different this season, and it's revealing. Obviously, you can lie.
Yeah.
It's a tricky thing that you have to do here is pitch how you would spend the money.
Yeah. I was shocked that, John starts it out, Jack and Lisa, right? And they are kind of like, what do we say for this guy? Okay, I guess we'll say like, we want to go on a family trip somewhere tropical or whatever. It's a sweet thing. everybody else gets really into their, like, I don't want to say sob story, but like intense stuff, like helping parents with rehab, treating a dad with kidney disease to, a good time, whatever, paying off debts, all these things.
Yes.
I didn't see one person be like, well, for Mitchell, they did. But that was the only time that they were like, this is BS. Like, I would have been like, yeah, these right. Y'all BS. Are liars.
All of you, you're lying. The lies. Yes, absolutely. I'm not believing anyone. Of course, I wouldn't be honest here either. I don't care what, I don't have to be a catfish to be like, oh, I'm lying about this right now, because this is a hot button issue, how people spend the money. We see it in so many of the game shows we cover where people start talking about like, that person doesn't need the money. They shouldn't win. Like, people really get into that when they're competing for the money. So,
right. And they get into these reasons why someone should win money that are not game related, and like you and I are lovers of the game. And so we want to see who plays the best game win the money, because that's really what this is about. But this very much sort of becomes like, who's the biggest charity case here?
Yes.
But they're all kind of buying it, it seems, from what they show us in the edit.
Yeah, I love that it's like, don't just say, I'm going to buy a house or I'm going to buy a car. It's like, I'm going to buy a car so that I don't have to ride the bus to my chemotherapy that is 15 miles away. It's like, give them the layers of why know. I have to. I'm going to buy a house because I need to give my cancer ailing mother a place to die. It's like, whoa. But yeah, Mitchell's like one of the few who's like, I'm just going to be honest here. But I think the fact that no one believes him just shows that people don't think there's much going on there.
I think they look at Mitchell's profile and they say, I just don't think you run a kids charity,
Yeah.
And maybe you would like to retire your parents, sure. But like overall, you just seem phony.
Yeah, they just don't think he has that much substance. And you know what? This is exactly why he gets upset about being prejudged, is because he's too hot to want to do these charitable things with his money.
That poor man. Oh my God. Wow.
But yeah, so everyone's answer. I mean, Delisa gets like so emotional. She's got a, and she's got a good
that's
one
real.
To raise her baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand. Mm-hmm. And then Chloe gets so emotional about her dad and his recovery. And we're like, whoa, we're really seeing real stuff. We're seeing it. The circle is not really seeing this, but like we're seeing real connections for these people, which I like to see.
Yeah. Then we get rankings, right?
Yes. Well, we're going to put in our ratings.
Right. This is kind of the part of the show that I'm like, can we speed this up a little bit? Like, I don't need so much. Like, I would like to see these thought processes happen in private chats. I don't need so much individual talking while we're doing these rankings. Like, let's just get through this. But whatever. They, give their reasons for who they're ranking where. I was kind of surprised at how high John was getting ranked, because we just haven't seen much from him. It's kind of been like, he's just a side character. He wasn't even eligible to be blocked last time, right? This is the first time that John is eligible to be blocked.
Yeah. But I do think there's some strategy behind it, because it's River and Courtney who put John first. Mm-hmm. And they are strategically trying to up his number to help the other numbers. I do like seeing who's ranking where, because I like to try to figure out what you're trying to do with the rankings, who you're trying to bump up and who you're trying to drag down.
Yeah, right.
So I do appreciate that. And they don't even show us who Chloe ends up going with in the last place, in the 5th place. But we do see her putting River first and Mitchell third.
Yeah, so weird, right?
Okay, that doesn't show me that you've gone one way or the other. That's kind of like you're half believing everybody.
Yeah. So
then we get messages from home.
Okay, here's the other thing, Sarah.
Oh dear, David is just.
I'm sorry. My my eyes are rolling a little too hard in this recap. But I'm like, how long have these people even been gone? And like, how intense has it really been to sit in a fully furnished apartment with like all the food you need and a gym? And like, it's not like Survivor when you see your family and you've been starving for 30 days.
30 days.
Or Big Brother where you haven't seen your family for 99 days. You know, like, I was like, okay, I know that this is like a reality trope that we have to include, but it just was the only one that touched me was Delisa's because, of course, she's like seeing her baby. And I think no matter how much time you're away from a baby, you're emotional.
Agreed. The reality is this is like 2 weeks of their lives.
Yeah.
Now, they did have to fly international. It shoots in the UK.
And they sequester, I'm sure, for a little bit. Yeah.
So there was extra time because you had to quarantine health-wise. And so, yeah, less than a month, though, that they've been gone. And I also always think people like Mitchell, who are like young adults, they are not seeing their family every day anyway. It's probably already been a couple months since they saw their family.
I know.
So they'd be like, this is no different. I haven't seen my family since last Christmas. So
yeah, I know. Literally, I haven't seen my brother in like 2 years, probably.
Right, exactly. So yes, I agree. It is not that dramatic, but I do, of course, love Delisa's baby. Oh my God, those cheeks. So and Delisa's like,
yeah.
But I also just enjoy seeing people's moms, like Chloe's family, and they're all like, smash it, babe. And Courtney's mom heard Super Bass and she like felt connected to Courtney. And I was like, what is this relationship? That's amazing.
Cute. Yeah. And we see, you know, Mitchell's family who was on last season. And of course, Lee's husband and mother, adorable. Like anything with Lee is absolutely super cute. But
if you use the term get her done, if that's in your vocabulary, you are not my people. We are not.
No, we run in different circles.
Yeah. So when Ed, Mitchell's brother, is like, get her done at the end of the message, I was like, pass.
Yeah. Just how do I swipe left on this?
Keep it going. Yeah. Keep it moving, guys. Keep it moving. But now the circle's going to get tricky.
No more rankings.
We've got our ratings, but you ain't going to know what it is.
You don't know. And there's the only thing that matters is that one of you is a secret super influencer and you get to pick who's blocked secretly. This is a lot of power for the
sole person is going to make this decision. This right here, you guys, this is why you talk to everyone.
Yes.
You cannot have one best friend in the circle.
No. You have to have a relationship.
What if your one best friend is not the sole secret influencer?
Right. That's right. Or what if you didn't talk to the sole super secret influencer until the last day of the competition?
Oh, guess what?
Then
that
you're going to get
work
blocked.
For you.
Yeah. And that's what happens.
So secretly one person gets an alert and it's River.
Lee.
Not Chloe.
Lee. I know.
Like, who's this going to be? It's got to probably be Chloe, right?
Yeah. But I think they must think about like, Chloe was an influencer last time, and we don't want to give her that kind of power again. So I think people probably strategically ranked her maybe like third, you know, just so it's like you can stay out of that seat for this week. It's all good.
Yeah. Because I think you want to bump up your other friends to give them a chance. And you assume a lot of people are ranking Chloe high. She always ranks, high. So I don't have to do hers as high. So yeah, she's probably like middle of the road, third place-ish. At this point.
Yeah. But I did like seeing Lee think about this strategically and saying like, okay, this is the last one. Then it's the finale. I know Trevor and Chloe are close, which means that they're going to rank each other high in this like final ranking to determine who gets the money. Mitchell's kind of a free agent, like maybe up for grabs a little bit. But then ultimately he decides to get rid of the free agent.
Yeah. I mean, this is I agree. I loved hearing him say this because that was such a good point that like Chloe and Trevor, like Chloe thinks like Trevor is her next husband, possibly. So you are kind of stuck in a position where Chloe might be ranking him higher and you might need to worry about that and break them up. But Mitchell is not ranking you high. That's a guarantee.
Yeah.
So let's say Chloe puts Trevor number 1, but puts you second. And then Courtney puts you 1. Like, you're going to bump up because Courtney put, Trevor lower. So you're going to potentially still win, but Mitchell is ranking you low. And that's, you got to go with what you know.
Yep. And then I love, you got to block him face to face.
Oh, boy.
Go into that room and let him know.
That is rough, especially if you had gone the route of, I'm going to split up, Trevor and Chloe.
Yeah.
Like, what if you took Chloe out right now? Because Chloe's the biggest threat to win. In my opinion, Chloe's the biggest threat to win this game, right? What if you took Chloe out at this point and had to go face to face to say, look, I know we've been friends this whole time, but you got to go.
But you got to go. And also, I'm not who you thought I was. I'm a catfish.
Oof, that's so hard. But Lee's like, cool, let me go tell Mitchell to get the heck out of here.
Yeah. And I did like that Mitchell was like, honestly, good call. Yes. I would not have ranked you high. You made it. Of course, I'm disappointed. I'm mad that I'm out of here. But good move. That was smart.
Right. I love that Mitchell was honest about it, because he was like, what was this, game or personal? Like, what made the decision? And Lee's like, I know you weren't going to rank me high. I'm trying to win the game. And he's like, true that. That's right.
Yeah.
Solid. But he also was like, I was so confident that I wasn't getting blocked tonight. And I was like, Mitchell, you don't know. You don't know anything. It's okay. I don't know where you are in this game.
Yeah. I also loved that, Lee was like, I'm a super fan of this show. Like, I watch whatever. And Mitchell's like, oh, then you know my family. And Lee's like, that's your mom? I love your mom. And that would totally be me as well. I would love the mom.
How many times has Lee fangirled this season? Like, he legitimately, he's like, I love your mom. I'm so fangirling now. Yeah, had he had that information, he probably would have been best friends with Mitchell this entire game.
Truly. Yes, honestly. Well,
so they have their moment. No big deal. Mitchell's like, all right, well, this stinks. All right, I'm out of here. Yeah. And the rest of the finalists get their alert. Congratulations. You are a finalist. And we are down to Chloe, Courtney, and 3 catfish, Lee River, Delisa Trevor, and our good pals, Jack and Lisa, playing John.
Now, how's that going to work? If they win, which they're not going to, but if they win, do they split the $100,000?
They have to. I don't know. Busy was asking. He was like, I can't with this. He's like, you got to explain it to me. I need to know how they win. What's the logic? What's like, how does this work? And I was like, don't worry about it. They're not going to last. And here they're are. Not.
Well, they lasted, but there's no way they're winning.
No way.
No way.
They are coming in 5th place. So the finale is Wednesday. You guys told me it's 1 episode. That's awesome. I don't know how it's going to go down, though. If it's going to be similar to last year, where there was a whole like dinner where they all meet and then they go on stage with Michelle and she goes in order and she's like, in 5th place, this person, which I have to imagine is Jack and Lisa, right?
It's gotta be.
They're just the newest. Sure. We like them. They're great, but we have not connected with them.
Yeah.
Is how they're thinking. Then does Trevor Delisa come in 4th, or does Chloe rank him high? How does it go from here?
That's a bummer, because I really have loved the way that Delisa has played this game all along, but she's just found herself in this final 5 with a 3-person alliance, Courtney, River, and Chloe. But maybe with the finale, all bets are off. They can't, it's not about protecting each other at this point. It's all an individual game now. So maybe that changes things. Maybe Courtney and River are now like, okay, Chloe, thanks for getting us here. We love you, but you're a huge threat. We're ranking you 5th. We can't have you getting this money. Like, who knows?
Right. Right. I don't know. Yeah, they definitely do one final voting. That will happen. and then it's those rankings. So whoever gets the highest ranking is going to win.
Mm-hmm.
Do you go, everyone loves Chloe, she's probably going to win, I have to rank her low?
I have to. If I want the money, I've got to rank her low.
A chance.
That's right.
Yeah. That's what I would think. But if someone legitimately loves Chloe and wants her to win, if they can't win,
oh yeah,
then you rank her high.
Yeah. But it's probably like whoever's getting that consistent 2 ranking is maybe the person who's going to win, because I think there's potential for a lot of different first place rankings here because people are going to be really thinking about this.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would have to, if I were to guess, Chloe wins. Chloe wins the game. Unless people get really, really strategic and bump her down.
Yeah.
Then maybe Lee.
Maybe wins. Lee. I don't think Courtney's going to win. I think it's probably, for me, I would say Chloe most likely. I agree with you. Then Lee, then Trevor.
Interesting.
Then Courtney, then John. That would be my ranking of likelihood.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like Courtney might be a solid 2nd or 3rd.
Okay.
Maybe even 4th though, if people are.
Yeah.
If he is just middle of the road. Oh. Well, I liked this season. I thought that all the production twists were great.
Elevated. Yes.
I thought there was some really good gameplay here. It got messy from the get-go.
Yeah. I just want to, for season 3, I just want to see them tighten it up a little bit. You know what I mean? And I also kind of want to see them or see a player who can come in and figure out how to do well without being there on day 1. Lisa's there. Lisa came in, I think, on day 3 or whatever. But she's not, she's just there by chance, really. But I want to see someone who can because this is the format of the show. We swap people in and out. Yeah. But it's kind of like, why are we doing this? It's not effective. It never works, So I'm really wanting them to either switch up the format somehow or see a player come in and find a way to really ingrain themselves. I don't know what the strategy would be, but.
I agree. I was told that one of the UK seasons, a late arrival wins.
Oh,
but I
nice.
have not
Okay,
seen that season. So it is possible. And I feel like had Kat not messed up, she could have been one of those. Kat came in so strong. If she hadn't screwed up, she could have absolutely gotten herself in.
Yeah, you're right.
Honestly, I'm surprised John is in the finale. He's the latest person. He probably shouldn't be there. But Mitchell misstepped, so Mitchell left. So I think it's doable. We just haven't seen it in the US yet. Got to be a part of that original crew. I'm seeing some of you guys with who you want to win and who you think win. I agree that when Delisa came up with Scottie Pippen and she wasn't even sure. Oh, I was on fire. So good.
Yes, so good.
Yeah, Kat, she was almost there. There. Yeah. I'm seeing some River, Delisa. Yeah, I think when Jack and Lisa show up and they're like, we don't know you guys. And they're like, well, so here's the story. So actually, I'm Emily. And they're like,
well, no, they're going to know that because they got the goodbye messages. Remember?
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah, that's right.
So they're just going to be shocked to see them still there.
First, let's go with I'm Emily. And they're going to be like, wait a minute. What are you guys? And they're like, so they sent us to another room and we became John. And they're like, that's why you're psychic. Delisa, Chloe, John, Courtney, Lee. I don't think that's how it's going to go, Ben. But
okay, all right.
Lee is killing it over here. But so Delisa's doing great. I wish she had a better chance.
More allies,
I don't know that she has. I think Chloe's the only one who's going to rank her super high. Yeah, I don't know. All right. Well, David and I are going to be back for the finale. It drops on Wednesday. So we will be here Wednesday night to cover it for you guys. Thank you to everyone who joined us in the chat live this whole season long. I appreciate it.
Yes. And if you're joining us later, leave us a comment about how you felt about Kat and Mitchell's blockings and give us your rankings for how you think this final vote is going to go and who's going to win.
Yes. And also there is a fan vote. Someone gets like like our Big Brother, America's Favorite House Guest type thing. There is a fan vote. Someone else gets money. So
nice.
Go to the Circle, Twitter, Instagram. You can find it. Vote for who you want to win that as well.
Yes.
And we'll see you guys on Wednesday. We also have a lot of Big Brother Canada stuff coming up this week. It's also the finale over there. So subscribe.
Good stuff. Tuned. Yes, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.